Took out another corporate executive yesterday. On Monday, a gunman walked into a New York office building and gunned down 4 people inside of a Blackstone corporate office, including executive Wesley LaPlanter. If the name Blackstone sounds familiar, it's because they are the company who founded the trillion-dollar conglomerate known as BlackRock. BlackRock is the most powerful and influential company in the world right now. They are to our times what the East India Trading Company was to Regency Britain. They originally started as the Blackstone Financial Division before they split into their own company, now known as BlackRock. They have now become one of the most evil companies in the world, much like the East India Trading Company. Now, Blackstone and BlackRock have since become separate companies, but they do a lot of the same horrible shit. Namely, they are one of the companies responsible for driving up the cost of housing throughout the United States by buying up empty houses, holding them as empty assets to drive up the cost of other houses, which in turn drives up the value of those housing assets. The official story from New York City Mayor Eric Adams is that this man was in fact targeting an NFL office on a different floor of the same building, alleging claims that he had suffered CTE from his time in the NFL and was taking out his personal grievances on the leadership. We haven't seen any evidence to support that, and it is quite likely that this is yet another person targeting a CEO in the same way that Luigi Mangione allegedly did back in December with United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. But because that's the story that Eric Adams is going with as New York City's mayor, it's quite likely that's the story we are going to be fed. If this was in fact a targeted assassination of a CEO, we're likely not going to know. When it comes to the deaths of the rich and powerful, the other rich and powerful like to concoct narratives that try to control the response of the public. So it could be quite likely that this was a guy who was actually suffering from CTE and wanted to take it out on NFL leadership, but it's also equally likely that this is someone who saw what Luigi Mangione allegedly did to a healthcare CEO and decided to try the same thing. Moving back to December, part of the reason that CEOs and the people with power were so scared of what happened to Brian Thompson is it kind of showed the public, hey, these rich and wealthy people who are ruining our lives are not as safe from us as they think. This is one of the few stories in a month that has really caught my interest, so I will be keeping my eye on this and trying to give you an analysis of the story as it develops.